Patriarchy is a system, not a gender. This comment is in response to my video on bullying in women-dominated fields and how that relates to patriarchy. And there's some confusion in the comments on how women can perpetuate patriarchy. I think it's helpful to know the difference between patriarchy versus matriarchy. When we hear the term matriarchy, we assume that it is a patriarchy but with women on top, and that's not true. It's a completely different system. Think of patriarchy as a pyramid where the majority of people are at the bottom of it, and at the top where it points, those are the people who have the power. It's called a patriarchy because a lot of societies that run like this have usually men at the top, usually white men. This is related to race as well. It's a hierarchical structure that results in inequities because it puts one group at the top and everybody else has to fight to try to get there, and they're rarely going to get there. And it's notorious for the gender inequities, but it includes others as well. People fight each other at the base of the pyramid to try to be one of the chosen few to get to the top. And that's what I was referring to the pick-me's professionally. You're fighting to try to get the appeal of the people at the top to pull you from the base of that pyramid. Organizations in the Western world are structured like a patriarchy, no matter who's the CEO. You could have a woman CEO and it could still be patriarchal. I've worked at that company. Matriarchy is actually not about female dominance. It's not about dominance or control at all. Instead of a pyramid, think about a circle. It's about harmony, balance, and equity. The Barbie movie in Barbie Land was not a matriarchy. It was a patriarchy with women at the top of the pyramid. In a matriarchy, the goal is to not have power over others. It is to foster mutual respect and harmony. It's about balance across genders, across generations, and even between nature and human. There are several matriarchal systems in the world. We don't usually see them in Western civilization after mass unaliving of indigenous groups. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but the Minangkabau tribe in Indonesia is a still alive matriarchal society where the men and women do have different roles, but one is not better than the other. Their goal in that society is contributing to society and not about status or power over each other. So any gender can perpetuate matriarchy or patriarchy. I responded to this commenter that I don't think people realize that patriarchy and matriarchy are systems and not genders, because while women are a protected class in the US, most bullying at women is not taken seriously, even because a lot of it comes from other women. Not all of it, but at least half. Or not at least, but about half. Just because a woman's doing it doesn't mean that it's not patriarchal. And as we see with the Indonesian tribe, men are not oppressed in matriarchal societies. It's not about that. And men in patriarchal systems can care about women's equity and gender issues and still benefit from patriarchy because that is how the system is run. And patriarchy still harms men, not to the extent that it does women, usually because men are usually at the top of it. But for example, in the US, the number one unaliving group who self-unalives is white men. Just because you have power doesn't mean you're healthy. And patriarchy and the fallacy of pale supremacy definitely support each other and are intertwined, but that's a whole nother video.